Happy spring and Easter! Today's tutorial is how to loom knit a mini crewmate for beginners. This is an Among Us character from the popular game by Innersloth, where thousands of players compete to find the imposter in each round. Earlier this year, I showed you how to loom knit the giant plushie, but today, meet the mini crewmate, or the tag-along twin. Let's get right into the video. For supplies, you will need a 12 peg round loom and looming hook. Oh, and if you don't know where to purchase these supplies, Michaels is literally my go-to place. Amazon has also been impressive lately for finding affordable loom knitting kits. Next, you will need super bulky yarn in the weight 6 or 7. I'm using Sweet Snuggles yarn by Loops and Threads, which is a number 7 yarn and very soft. If you use the same yarn I am, keep in mind it's very fragile and likes to shed. I love it because it's so soft and great for stuffed animals. Choose whatever color yarn you want your pet crewmate to be, and make sure you grab a roll of white for the eye shield. Finally, grab your other tools like scissors, an optional measuring tape, yarn needle for sewing, and some stuffing. Start off by making a slip knot or knot and placing it on the anchor or side peg of your loom. Pull tight. Now place your yarn in between the first peg and last peg and zigzag between all the pegs to the right. When you reach the beginning again, lay your yarn over all the pegs loosely. Brace your yarn against the last peg and lift the bottom loop over the top loop. You can now let go of the working yarn and lift all the bottom loops every other peg. Some pegs only have one loop, and that just means you're doing it right. Fun fact, I was filming this video while also teaching my cousin to loom knit. And then you're going to brace it against the last peg like this, and I just pinch my fingers like that.
Okay, so over like all this, and then...
Oh wait, you skipped a couple. Was it difficult? Not necessarily, but I was prone to taking my eyes off my camera, which was a really stupid thing since it did something goofy and cut off the footage when I started the first row. So here I am in editing mode, and I'm looking for what I did next, and it's not there. Okay, that was a ton of unnecessary information. Anyway, so this clip right here is from a different video, so don't get confused. I know it looks a little scary. I just need to show you how to start this row because me being a dummy, I literally didn't even realize that my footage was gone. I'm a little rusty, it's been a few weeks. Anyway, we're using the E-wrap stitch, so wrap your pegs back to front all the way around the loom until you have wrapped peg 12. Brace the yarn with your fingers and lift the last peg's bottom loop over the top. Repeat with the others until you've lifted peg 1's loop. Then start again by wrapping all the pegs circularly and lifting the bottom loops. Each time you do this, it equals a row. E-wrap for 6 rows total. Don't forget to untie your knot or slip knot off the anchor peg after a few rows. I'll meet you back here when you unpause the video. I finished my 6 rows of E-wrapping, and now you can cinch close the bottom where you started. This is the crewmate's head. Now let's move on to the legs, which are really easy. E-wrap the first 6 pegs of your loom. If it helps for you to put a piece of tape in between peg 6 and 7, that's great. For the purpose of this video, I placed a stitch marker on peg 6 to make it clear where to stop. Now that we have knitted and lifted over all 6 of the loom's first half, turn around on peg 6 and knit backwards. When you turn, lay the yarn over peg 6 and cross behind 5 by wrapping it back to front. Do the rest as usual. Then lift the bottom loops over the tops. Turn around again and repeat. This is called knitting flat. Knit for 6 rows back and forth, then unpause the video. Hello again. You should have ended up on peg 1 after row 6. Now let's bind this area off by laying the yarn over all 6 pegs, then cutting the end with some scissors. I know, mine needed help. They literally have been snipping through my projects for a while.
They're not cutting anything.
Okay.
Great clip for the video.
Now thread the yarn from the bottom up of each peg with your hook or by tying it onto a yarn needle. I would suggest the second option if you're using yarn like this, since it starts to fray if you drag it through with the hook. have finished with that, simply pop all 6 loops off the loom. You can then, if you prefer, close the end by pulling the tail connected. You have created your pet crewmate's first foot. Your working yarn is no longer connected to the loom, so make another slip knot or knot and stick it on peg 7, right after the marker. You will now work with these 6 loops on the loom like before. Start E-wrapping the second peg and the rest. Then lift the bottom loops over the tops like before, including the peg with the knot or slip knot. E-wrap back and forth for another 5 rows after this one, for 6 rows of knitting done total. Repeat the cast off, cinch the end shut, and you have a second foot. And your work is free from the loom. Okay, now it's all about sewing the edges and cast on area up. You don't need to know the ropes of sewing to do this part. Just do whatever makes you comfortable. Unpause the video when you finish stuffing and sewing up your crewmate. Once you have finished sewing up your crewmate's body, it's time to whip out your white yarn or eye shield color. Make a slip knot and attach it to your anchor peg. E-wrap a total of 6 pegs and turn around on peg 6. Raise your yarn in a U shape as if you're E-wrapping the rest. Instead, lift the bottom loop over the top loop you're holding. This is the E-wrap stitch. Repeat on the rest of the pegs. Now return to E-wrapping your desired length for the eye shield. You'll also notice I'm now skipping the first peg of each row to give the project a nice braided edge. It's not crucial you do it, but I like it since it makes sewing easier. I only did a few rows since the eyepiece is small. When you finish, use the drawstring bind off to free your project. To sew again, take time to position your crewmate's eyepiece, then sew it to the face with your yarn needle. I made mine really round and stuffed it with stuffing to make it more pronounced. Again, this is where loom knitting can be creative. You can sew however you want to and stuff however you want to. I'm only showing you what I do for reference. Continue sewing and stuffing the eye shield until it's complete, and you're done. If you really want to go all out, you can make your pet crewmate a backpack piece for the oxygen tank. This is super simple. All you do is E-wrap the desired length. I E-wrapped for about 2 inches. Finally, drawstring cast off flat and adjust the backpack to your project. I then just sewed it on and added some stuffing to make it pop out more. That's how to loom knit a mini crewmate. This is a very easy project for beginners and fun for Among Us fans. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe to Rhea Light Knits so you don't miss out on any new projects. Leave some comments down below of project ideas. Oh, and hey, one more thing. I would like to give a huge shout out to Cami Elmore, one of my best friends, because she's here on YouTube and I think that you definitely should support her. She's absolutely hilarious, makes me laugh, so please click the link in the description and the comments below, or type in the search bar Cami Elmore. Please make sure you head on over to her channel after this video. Bye for now, see you soon with a new upload. Rhea Light Knits out.